Okay. So yeah, see. Wait, is my audio recording? Hello? Oh, hello? Oh, okay, it is recording. Nice. See. So if you want to just like edit videos in Premiere Pro, you open Premiere Pro up. Okay. You can like make a new project and everything. I already have one for like Outer Worlds. So if you click over here, like import media, like if you like double click there, like you don't have to do that either. Just go to like wherever your like videos are saved. Click on one video to edit. So if like this is a new one which I want to edit, so I throw it here. Okay, that happens. So once that happens, put it here. Okay, so this is like your video and this is like your audio. Okay, so what you want to do is like, if you want to like increase the volume of like basically the entire like audio in itself, what I do is like I use this thing called, so there's like this effects thing which you usually have over here. If you click on it in the search bar, if you type like dynamic, you don't need to do this though, because you don't use a mic. So since I use a mic, I do this so that my voice is also clear along with the game. Okay, so yeah, you can just drag that onto the audio thing, and like over here you'll see like this dynamics bar come up, and in the custom setup, if you click on edit, the compressor increases your base. What the compressor does is that it increases the volume of all the sounds in your audio which have low volume, so basically makes almost everything loud. And you use the limiter so that the loud sounds in your audio become basically, like once you increase it over here using the compressor, you need to make sure that the loud sounds don't become like obnoxiously loud, so you use the limiter for that. So usually I have like set values. It changes usually from like game to game for me, but the value which works for me usually is like, I change this milestone to like minus 12.7. I experimented with like a bunch of values before, but these work out for me the most, and this is like minus 12.1. Okay, so, and also if you do add this dynamic audio, I don't think you need it, but if you do feel like adding it, just know this, that always add the dynamic audio before you start cutting up pieces of your like video, because like if you cut pieces of your video, you'll have to individually put this dynamics thing on all pieces of that video, and that's like, it's like you have to like edit this the you can basically like still drag the dynamic thing and apply it to all sections of the video, like the cutout parts, but you would have to individually go into all of the cutout parts and edit this like setting over here. Don't touch AutoGate and expander. I don't really know what those do. Yeah. So if you want to like just like cut portions up, you can like click on this one, the razor tool, and what you can do is like, suppose you want to cut like maybe that and like that, for example, and you want to cut out like you want to cut out the middle portion of this. Now for cutting it out, you go back and click on the selection tool. You can press like V to get it, and C for this one. You click on that part. Now this is an important part. Now remember this, don't just like delete it, because when you delete it, this happens, like you're left with this like big gap in the middle, and then you have to like drag like this thing all the way there, to like make it work. Now in order, like if you don't want to do that, what you can do is like click on the part which you want to cut out, like basically this part, and like press shift delete. So if you do shift delete, what happens is it deletes the audio as well as moves the remaining like video and audio to like where, like after like this it basically creates like a transition for you over here. So like if I do something like that, this is what happens. See it, and immediately just cuts to that, and you don't have to like do the readjusting thing which I said. So that's basically just it. And then if you want to like export this video, what I do is like, this is like your edited video. This is the original one, this is the edited one. So click on that, click on export media, and like you'll have this thing over here. So the format, make sure it's H.264, because these are all like the YouTube standard formats and everything. So you need H.264, and click on preset. Now you have to change this thing to, if you go all the way down, you'll see like YouTube 1080p full HD. Click on that. Then if you like click on this one, you can change the name of the file, like whatever you want it to be. I usually name it like part 3, part 4, or something like that. You can do that. Everything else should be fine, and just make sure that this over here in the source, this says 60 fps, because now and like it says 1920 by 1080 60 fps. Once you're done with all that, don't mess around with anything else in here. Like all these values, just keep them as they are. And then when you like click on export, it starts like renders the video for you, like and it saves it wherever you want it to be saved. Okay, that's you can change where it's saved over here. And just one thing though, for me in general, Adobe Premiere Pro, whenever I export stuff, it like my fans kick in really hard because this thing utilizes 100% of my CPU almost. I don't know why that is, and I checked online and they're saying it's fine. I mean, I don't have any issues with it, but just know that when it's rendering, you kind of can't do anything else on your like laptop, which is like CPU heavy, you know. So just to keep that in mind, and it takes a bit of your RAM. It takes maybe like 5-6 GBs depending on how big your video is. Since this is like a 40-minute one, it won't really take a lot of RAM. But yeah, I know that CPU load is insane. So yeah, I know there's this thing called smart rendering which you can do, and what that does is like while you're editing your video, it renders the video for you. But the thing with smart editing is that it doesn't work with the H.264 format. It works with like a few other formats. I think it works for this Apple one and a few other ones, but I don't know. I know it doesn't work with H.264, so can't really do anything about that. That's sad. So yeah, so and usually like an hour video to like render an hour video would take like 30 minutes, 35 minutes maybe. If it's a shorter 20-minute video, it'll take like 10 minutes or something like that. So yeah, so just know this, there's a lot of downtime and you'll have to wait if you want to make like really long videos. If you're fine with like making like 20-minute long videos, you should be fine. It should be like done rendering the video for you in like 10-15 minutes maximum. So yeah, that's just about it actually. That's the only thing I do. I don't do anything else different in Adobe Premiere Pro. So yeah, that's basically just it. That's how I do it.